So you know.
I'm CP time. So I'm be at 7:15. I
was throwing some last minute Houston shade.
Does that mean Christian people? I'm sorry.
Gentlemen,
gotta go.
This was great. We're gonna get to some sponsors. Take a quick break. We'll do some social media. We'll do a social media pick for those that can come out. Make sure you guys understand this will be a great opportunity for you guys to see this collaboration. Doesn't matter what generation, what background. This is gonna have this crossover variations. I mean, this is gonna be amazing.
Entertain,
we'll be back.
Empower the morning grind.
Artist is our own Stacey Shay.
Yep. I know her. I want all y'all listeners to know I know that lady. I know her.
Since we've been, just celebrating all our artists and things,
I caught her live before.
The poetry and all that. And then guess what? We also have an awesome poet right on the phone with us.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Spoken word artist, baby. Yes. And, it's a little difference. I try to explain sometimes. See, a poet, I can just be writing and I might read from my poetry book, my poem. But a spoken word artist, they're going to bring that poem to life for you. You understand what I'm saying? It's a little different.
Yes.
It is animated. It is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It is thought-provoking. You want to watch it. Yes.
You make it sound like you was about to drop some... Wow. I mean, you just made it sound like like you don't even want to go to the poet. Just bring in a spoken word. We'll just do that.
Well, that's because I carry that title myself.
Woo!
Good morning. Are you there with us?
Man, I need to have you do all of my introductions.
She got us excited. Wow. If they weren't awake, they are now.
I'm on fire.
They are ready. People gonna tell him to freestyle now. They're gonna be like, we don't want to know about him. Just get to what he could do.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listening audience?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Andre. My stage name is SC Says. I'm a spoken word artist living here in Austin, Texas. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, and we're just as excited. Now, I gotta get some of your stuff so I can play it on the radio now.
Yes,
I like to have a little open mic sometimes. I played Love Robinson. I don't know if you remember her from the Neo Soldiers from back in the day, and so.
Oh, of course.
The phone lines always light up
every time I play her black. Yes, oh my God, the phone lines. And then I played a little bit of Smokey Robinson. So tell us about. Tell us about your journey through poetry.
So I started out as a theater kid. I actually moved to Austin to pursue film acting, and a friend of mine invited me to the Austin Poetry Slam one night, and I'll never forget that night. It was powerful. There were just so many people getting on stage and being willing to talk about things that we don't talk about in our everyday lives. Talking about things like depression or divorce or losing family members. It was healing in a way that I didn't know that I needed. And so I sat in that audience for 6 months, and one day I just got the itch to start putting some of my story on the page, and
that itch.
Got the courage to go up there and share it one day.
Yes.
And then I've been doing that ever since.
And it's history. Wow. So you got something coming up, don't you?
I do. So one of my favorite things is helping other people find their voice and getting their story on the page and hopefully on the stage. And so I'm going to be leading a free workshop at the Spicewood Public Library. It's going to be from 1 to 2 this Sunday. And there's no experience needed. You can come through. You have no idea what spoken word poetry is. That's great. Just come through ready to put some of your story on the page. And I'm going to give you some ideas, some writing prompts, some time to create, and some space to share some of your story with hopefully some other people throughout Austin.
That's beautiful that you're doing this, sharing your gift. Give us that location one more time. It kind of came in a little shaky.
Absolutely. That's going to be at the Spicewood location, the Austin Public Library.
Yes. I love that Austin libraries, they'll be open on Sundays.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm a library nerd, so, I like, I can go on a Sunday.
Libraries are amazing.
Yeah,
I was explaining to my wife how, as a kid, and those were different times, Mom would just drop us off.
Yes.
And so there's the children's centers down there. That was the daycare. Like, that was the spot to be. And to this day, I still have a certain section of the Dewey Decimal System memorized. But I carry all that knowledge forward, and it impresses her when I can still use that to this day about what I was reading. It's dogs, but I probably should have been a veterinarian. 636.7. But
what's the times again on that workshop?
Yeah, what times?
100.
Oh man, I love this. It's gonna be from 1 to 2 p.m. on Sunday,
Awesome.
February 25th.
Gotcha.
And it's called Slam Poetry Workshop. And the Spicewood, they have it on their website.
Spicewood.
Yes, the Spicewood branch has it on the Austin Public Library has it, and when you click on Spicewood Springs branch, it'll have the link to the Slam Poetry Workshop.
Awesome.
This Sunday.
Wow.
Yes, and there are limited seats, and so if you're kind of on the fence, just go ahead and grab a reservation because I think we only have like 30 or so spots.
Okay, we can register right online.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Andre, you go a long way from Andre Bradford to SC, and it's an acronym. What does it stand for?
So, the first time I ever heard a slam poem, I was at the University of Southern California, and we usually abbreviate that to SC. And when I finally got the courage to go and share some of my work, it seemed like everybody had a stage name, and I couldn't think of anything. And so I thought of the first place that I'd ever heard a poem, and I was like, well, it can't just be SC. That doesn't make any sense. And then I added says to the end of it for a little bit of alliteration, thinking I was being clever.
Now, for everybody.
And it stuck.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you there. I want people to know, for those who don't know about SC, I was gonna go with the government, so that's why I laughed, because I was about to mess that up. I mean, we're gonna stick with the stage name. He is a 2-time Austin Poetry Slam champion.
Yes.
The 2022 Texas Grand Slam champion.
Come on.
And is the author of the poetry collection Golden Brown Skin. Man, you're a humble SC. You're a humble athlete.
I know. That's why I'm like, come on now. Yeah, you can be, but that's okay. It's a beautiful thing being humble. It's a beautiful thing. Let us brag on you. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't mind doing it.
But you know,
such great energy to it. So thank you.
well, you know what though? I don't mean to like cut our time and do all of that, because we are kind of cut for time. But you know, you got to spit a little bit of something. I ain't gonna put it on you like a slam. You got to do it in 2.2 minutes.
Do it. Go and take a swig. Let me filibusters. You can take a swig of water right quick. Wet up them vocals, and then
just a little something. You got to.
This would be
great. All right, I got it.
Okay.
How do you explain a sneeze to someone who's never had one? Well, it's like when you smell something, doesn't want to handle it, so it retaliates. Or you ever get an itch in a weird place you couldn't reach? The more you try to go, the more it itches. So you start to convulse and shake in weird ways until it's satisfied. Dictionary says a sneeze is when you make an involuntary explosion of air through the nose and mouth with irritation of one's nostrils. But if you've never sneezed before, that doesn't quite capture the unique feeling of the almost painful need to get the stuff out of your face. I once sneezed on a stranger, and the look of horror she gave me still haunts me to this day. And it wasn't even my fault. I turned to the side to sneeze like a decent human being, and she just happened to speed walk into it. I think we don't have a great way to explain a sneeze, because everyone has already experienced it by the time we know the word for it. How do you explain racism to someone who hasn't experienced it? Well, it's like when someone looks at you, presumes to know your story without ever once saying a word to you, or listening to you, or looking at you. It's like when someone gets an itch in the back of their mind with the skin you're wearing is so 2014 or 1968 or 1861 is worth a retweet, but not equality. It's still upset about the whole slavery thing. And the only way to alleviate the itch is to call you boy or thug or target, or to pretend your struggle to survive doesn't exist. And so to help those who haven't experienced it understand just how common this still is, for the duration of this poem, I will replace the word racism with the word sneeze. I was 15 when I experienced sneezing for the first time. I was meeting my girlfriend's parents, and her father looked me in my eyes and said, "I don't want you dating my daughter." He tried to blame it on other people sneezing, that he was just looking out for our safety. But that's the thing about sneezing. Once you see it, you can always tell when someone's trying hard to hold it in. I used to believe that sneezing, which is the thing you read about in textbooks, can never happen nowadays. So it was a little jarring when someone sneezed in my face. No blessing or apology, just a shrug that said I shouldn't be so charred cedar, so pitch black pollen, so dark brown dust. Since that day, I watch people sneeze openly and behind closed lips, and I can assure you, no one looks appealing when they're sneezing. Looks honorable with both eyes closed, and we've seen it made it respectable to sneeze behind the same hands that shake our own, assuring us there's no sneezing problem. Like for people of color, it isn't allergy season all year round. Like this country could just Benadryl its way to equality. As if we were the ones struggling to keep breathing drowsy after being prescribed Twitter apologies. Isn't it funny how every sneeze can sound unique, but we also know when it's happening? Like we've been speaking sneeze our whole lives, reading it in nationalism or far-right shirt sleeves, claiming sneezing is just a part of our history. Chuckling at all the funny ways people try to stop it from happening, telling us their Civil War monuments aren't about sneezing. That would be silly. No, the monuments embody a cure. Getting rid of all the irritants would be the best way to stop all this sneezing, wouldn't it? And in response, we all close our eyes, open our Instagram feed, posting a black box to show just how angry we are at all this sneezing and the world keeps turning. Like this is all just ordinary. Like it was as natural as... Thank you.
Yes.
Wait.
I love that.
Wait.
I love that.
Scene. Come on.
Yes. Oh my God. SC said.
Delivered.
Yes. And he will be having a spoken word artist workshop down at the Spicewood Library. You can go right on.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. February 25th from 1 to 2. Oh my God, you are awesome. And I thank you for sharing your gift. Yes.
Thank y'all so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And for those, I want to make sure everyone knows, gratis y abierto al público.
That's my buddy.
It is free and open to the public. I want to make sure, but you got to register. You got to register for the event.
All right, man. Andre, thank you so much, man. And I'll be looking for some of your work.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Whoa,
I mean, if they want a fan of poetry at the start, they are now.
Come on now.
People are shook at their foundation now and say,
he said,
why did I miss this?
He said, instead of racism, I'm going to use the word
sneeze.
That was so awesome.
He said, puff of air. We need to get rid of the irritants.
How awesome. Oh, my